She had thin, red lips, a soft, gentle face, and on the small screen of her phone, she had built a whole world, as if her entire life was trapped inside those few inches of glass. To avoid suspicion, I had saved her number under her little brother's name. Every time she sent a message, my heart would pound so hard, it felt like it would escape my chest. One day, suddenly, she sent a short message. "Hello, classmate." Just 2 words. But for me, they created a storm. My hands trembled. My heart raced. I quickly opened the message. With every word I read, I whispered inside, "Oh God, please let it be good." Then she wrote, "I'm helpless. I need to tell you something." And suddenly, everything felt dark. She wrote, "My brother has stopped me from going to school. He says I won't go anymore. I don't know what he's planning. But yesterday, my cousin, my uncle, and my mother came. And today, they are still here." That was it. Just a few lines. But they destroyed my world. In a moment, everything went dark before my eyes. My heart forgot how to beat. It felt like someone was pulling my soul out of my body. And then, a fear grew inside me. Today, maybe it's her engagement. I couldn't wait anymore. I called her immediately. She answered. At first, we talked normally, as if nothing had happened. I forced myself to laugh, made jokes, even laughed so much that my own laughter felt fake, because it was. Inside, everything was broken. Then suddenly she said, "Are you crying?" I quickly replied, "No, no, dear. My throat is just a little sore." But she insisted, "No, you're crying. I can hear it in your voice." Then she almost shouted, "Why are you crying?" Every word she said pierced my heart like needles. She said, "You don't understand. When you cry, I cry with you. No matter how much you hide it, my heart cries with yours." I couldn't hold it anymore. But still, I controlled myself. I said, "Wait a moment. I'll drink some water and come back." I put the phone down. I stood up, walked to the fridge, took a glass of water, but I didn't drink it. I used it to hide my tears. I returned, sat back down, and listened. From the other side, there was only one sound. Her sobbing. She was crying, and I was dying with her. In silence, the last voice. I sat there, silent, listening to the sound of her soft sobs coming through the phone. It was the kind of sound that feels like a heart breaking into pieces, with no one able to put it back together. I couldn't take it anymore. I quickly picked up the phone, forced a smile only I knew was fake, and I said softly, "Hello, dear, can you hear me?" For a few seconds, there was silence. Then, from the other side, a cold, broken voice came, like someone speaking their final words. "Yes, I hear you." My heart trembled. I asked anxiously, "Why were you silent all these days? What's going on? Tell me the truth." She took a deep breath, a breath that sounded like someone giving up on life. Then she said, "My mother knows. My father has found out about us. Today he called his brother. They want to engage me." That sentence felt like a mountain falling on my chest. Without control, I shouted, "What? Today?" My heart pounded wildly. My hands went cold. My body felt numb. She said in a trembling voice, "Yes, today." There was something in her voice, a breaking, a pain. Every word felt like it was bleeding. I said desperately, "What are you saying? Are you okay with this? What can you do? I'm coming. I'm coming right now. She cut me off immediately. No. That no was strong, final. Then softly, in a broken voice, she said, "You can't do anything, and I can't do anything." Tears filled my eyes, but I hid my voice. She continued, "I only called to say goodbye for the last time." That sentence felt like my life was being pulled out from its roots. I said in pain, "Goodbye on the phone? What are you saying? Are we just going to forget each other? Is that even possible?" Her crying became heavier. Then slowly she said, "I am yours, but my fate is not." My heart shattered. Suddenly, I heard the sound of a glass. Water, but also something strange. My heart panicked. I shouted, "What are you doing?" But she didn't answer. Or maybe she didn't want to. She only said softly, "Don't cry for me. Be strong." And then she said the words that changed my entire life. "This face belongs to others. Oh God, take back this powerless face." Then, the sound of the glass falling. I screamed, "Hello, hello, don't do it. Please, don't." But from the other side, there was nothing, only silence. And that silence was heavier than death. After the silence, that night was the longest night of my life. My phone was still pressed against my ear, as if, maybe, just maybe, I would hear her voice again. Maybe she would say, I was joking, but reality was too cruel to leave even a single hope alive. I fell from the bed. My legs had no strength. My eyes were filled with tears until the world turned dark. Only one sentence kept repeating on my lips. No, this can't be. This is not possible. But everything had already happened. I spent the entire night in screams, tears, and helplessness. The next morning, without thinking, I went straight to her house. My heart was pounding, like I was walking toward death itself. When I reached her street, I saw a crowd. People gathered, dark clothes, silent faces. That kind of silence. That tells everything. Without saying a single word, my heart dropped. I asked a man, "What happened here?" He looked at me, took a deep breath, and said slowly, "A girl, last night." He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. I understood. My legs stopped moving. My body felt empty, as if my soul had already left. Somehow, I forced myself to walk inside. The final sight. There, she was lying, wrapped in a white shroud. Her, the same girl who just yesterday said, "I am yours." But now, she belonged to no one. My eyes locked on her face. Still soft, still beautiful, but lifeless, breathless. I slowly walked closer, placed my hand on her forehead. Cold, so cold, like all the memories, the laughter, the promises, now buried in silence. I couldn't hold myself anymore. I fell beside her and cried out loud, "Why did you leave? Why did you leave me?" People were watching, but I didn't care, because one truth was already clear. I was too late. Too late. Days later, a few days passed. Her funeral was over. Everything ended. But for me, nothing ended. Every night, I heard her voice. Every moment, that last sentence echoed in my mind. Goodbye on the phone. That's when I understood. Some goodbyes are truly final. Days passed after her funeral, but for me, time had stopped. Everything else moved on. People, streets, day and night. But my world remained frozen. In that moment, that night, that last voice, that falling glass, I returned home. But it didn't feel like home anymore. Every corner brought her memories back to life. Every moment, I looked at my phone, as if a message might still come. But no, some waits never end. The change. Slowly, I pulled away from everyone. I didn't talk, didn't laugh, didn't sleep. My family wondered what happened to him, but they didn't know. I hadn't just lost a person. I had lost my life. The messages. One day, I opened my phone and read her messages again. Hello, classmate. I have no choice. I have to tell you. And those last words, my heart broke again. The decision. That day, I made a decision. If I continue like this, I will disappear too. I didn't want my story to end the same way. I wanted to keep her memory alive, not in tears, but in change. A new life. Slowly, I gathered myself again. I returned to my studies, started talking to people again, but something had changed. I was not the same person anymore. I had learned love is not only happiness. Sometimes it is the deepest pain of life. Letting go. One evening, I opened my phone, looked at her number. My hand trembled. My heart resisted. But finally, I deleted it and whispered to myself, "You're gone, but I will keep your story alive." But the truth was, no matter how much you change, some wounds never heal. Years later, years passed. My life looked normal again. Work, people, smiles. But inside, everything was still broken. I hadn't forgotten her. I had only learned how to live with the memories. The call. One evening, it was raining. I was sitting by the window, holding my phone, lost in old memories, old messages, old recordings, old moments. Suddenly, an unknown number appeared. My heart stopped. 1 second, 2 seconds. I answered. From the other side, a soft, familiar voice. "Hello." I froze. My hand trembled. My breath stopped. That voice was impossible, but so familiar. I whispered, "Who?" Silence. Then softly, like the wind, the voice said, "Are you crying?" My eyes filled with tears. My lips trembled. I said, "How is this possible?" And then, suddenly, the call ended. The phone slipped from my hand. I stood up, my heart racing wildly. Outside, the rain grew heavier, and in the noise of the city, I felt as if someone was calling my name. Sadat. I turned around. No one was there. But that voice was still in the air. The final truth. Even today, I don't know who made that call. Was it my mind? A memory? Or an unfinished message? But one thing I know for sure. Some loves never die. They only fall silent behind time. And sometimes they return, like the wind. The last line. And me? Sometimes, on rainy nights, I still look at my phone. Maybe I'll hear that voice again. But this time, I don't cry. I just smile and whisper, "I never forgot you, broken heart."